Good afternoon, Trump's family. Welcome back to my channel. Have a good day, everyone, and God bless you. Alright, the following is a collection of news from Patriots. Let's get into the news. And we have the cross-dressing President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky. Over here, bashing Elon Musk. The same Elon Musk who sent Starlink units to his country for the war effort is now calling him a Russian puppet. This is the he doesn't want the grift to stop. He wants the billions and billions of dollars that continue to flow into his country. We have now sent over $100 billion to Ukraine and their war effort against Russia. And they continue to not want this border. And they don't want a peace proposal by Boris Johnson. The former Prime Minister of the UK encouraged Zelensky not to seek a peace deal with Russia for the war to continue. And of course, they will continue to do this as much as they can, because as they're getting fat stacks in their bank, their young men are being mowed down on their front lines. They don't care anything about the future of their nation, all they care about is lining their pockets. And so when Zelensky and all of these mainstream media places, they're going to start parroting his same sentiment that Elon Musk now somehow is a Russian agent or a Russian sympathizer for basically asking simple questions, common sense questions that most of us probably already asked. Why can't we find a peace solution? Why are we not exploring peace instead of funneling money to continue a war? Absolutely ridiculous. I think many of us know why they don't want to choose peace, because peace is not profitable for many people. So let's get to take a look what we have here coming to us from the Postmillennial. It says Zelensky attacks Elon Musk are proposing peaceful solution for Ukraine conflict. That's right. Earlier today, Elon Musk posted something on Twitter. He posted a poll saying, hey, should we seek a peace settlement with Russia and Ukraine? And no, people are absolutely insane on Twitter. Well, below Ukrainian bio flags in their bio or nothing, but more than NPCs at this point who wants this thing to continue, and anybody that has a differing opinion in them must be a Russian agent. Must suggested that the elections be redone under UN supervision. Russia leaves, if that's the will of the people, he said in a tweet. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky suggested Elon Musk was supporting Russia by providing a hypothetical peace scenario in the conflict between the two Eastern European nations. The tweet from Zelensky comes after Ukrainian ambassador to Germany, Andy Mulink, lashed out at Musk, telling him to F off. Zelensky tweeted a poll with a question: which Elon Musk do you like better, with the options being one who supports Ukraine or one who supports Russia. Nothing about that. It's always black and white with these communist Marxists out there. They want you. There is no nuance to anything. There's no conversation. You're either the enemy or you're with me until you become my enemy. And that's what's it. Zelensky is just a puppet. Musk proposal involved a redo referendum election of the annex regions which recently voted to join Russia. And what's been called a sham by observers, including the British Foreign Secretary James Cleverly. Well, yeah, some may even say that about the US elections as well. Right. The Russian installed election officials, at least, let me just say this, at least the Russians were able to count all the votes in one day on election day, unlike some cities and states in the United States, where they're unable to determine a winner for weeks on end, because they have so many that's out in circulation that they need to continue to receive, and they can declare a winner. The Russian installed election officials declared a landslide victory with 93% of the ballots cast in the region in support of Donetsk, Zaporizhia along with 87% and Kherson 98% and Lugansk and 99%. Don Stick must has suggested to the elections be redone under UN supervision. Russia leaves if that is the will of the people, he said in a tweet. Primary a formerly part of Russia has, as it has been since 1783. Until Khrushchev's mistake, the hypothetical also includes water supply being assured the criteria, and the Ukraine remains neutral throughout the process. This is a highly likely to be the outcome. NDN just question to how many die before then must said, and of course Russia has ex acutis don't referendums in the past. 2014 Russian authorities held a referendum on Ukraine's Crimea Peninsula. Russia would later annex Crimea based on those voting results. Also worth noting that the possible albeit unlikely outcome from this conflict is nuclear war. Must be noted in a follow-up tweet, Russia is doing partial mobilization. They go to full war mobilization if primary is at risk. The deaf on both sides will be devastated. Russia has 3 times the population of Ukraine, so victory for Ukraine is unlikely in total war. If you care about the people of Ukraine, seek peace. Musk continued on, and Twitter and all the Twitter bots, and all the blue checkmarks and all of these world leaders, who want to continue to see people die are freaking out on Twitter because of Muscat's proposal of peace. Absolutely horrendous what we see here going on. But this is nothing new for the globalists, as they want to continue to murder off the men that are able to hold a country together, because now they can fill that place in with as much as Western crap as they can. And you know what type of Western crap they want to fill it with. And then, the left, the mainstream media, the Democrats, and even some neo-cons just a couple of weeks ago were telling you that the FBI must not be questioned. The legitimacy, the integrity of the FBI as a whole is intact. Some people went as far to say that questioning the FBI amounts to extremism. But of course, what do we know about that narrative? We know that it's total both. Excuse my French. And of course, the second thing to add on. The second thing that we know to also be total BS has been the media coverage. Like always in these situations, when you turn on MSNBC or CNN covering the FBI, DOJ's raid on Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, or really anything related to Trump investigations, or the FBI, the media always chooses to use the worst possible individuals to come on their shows and make the case with this whole New York civil case, the lawsuit against the Trump Organization and Donald Trump's family. The media is parading Donald Trump's ex-lawyer, Michael Cohen, around. He's got a clear vendetta against the former president. And when they covered this FBI thing, they keep bringing on Peter Strzok. I mean, out of literally any human being on the planet, Peter Strzok is probably the last person whose opinion you should seek on this kind of matter. And that right there is the point that I want to make on this video, is the leftist networks bring Peter Strzok on their show to make the point that Donald Trump is definitely guilty. This time a new bombshell FBI document has just been released. It shows just how much of a scumbag Peter Strzok really is. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. Let's crush this whole "the FBI must not be questioned" narrative with a basic Alright folks, so this is the guy Peter Strzok that the leftist media expects you to take seriously. Read it. FBI's brutal draft letter firing disgraced agent Peter Strzok revealed a top FBI official accused Trump-hating former agent Peter Strzok of doing long-term damage to the Bureau's reputation with a sustained pattern of bad judgment and selfishness in the newly released draft of the 2018 letter firing him. David Botha, who was deputy director of the Bureau when he penned the brutally harsh draft of the dismissal letter, told Peter Strzok that the damage that he caused to the Bureau would last for years. He referred specifically to Strzok's use of an FBI device, an apparent reference to the shocking text messages sent on Bureau cell phones between Strzok and his paramour Lisa Page, in which he vowed to stop former President Donald Trump from being elected in 2016. And we now have our hands on the actual letter, August 8, 2018. Mr. Peter Strzok. Dear Mr. Strzok, I have reviewed the decision of Assistant Director, Office of Professional Responsibility (OPR) following your appeal, which proposed a 60-day suspension and demotion. I reviewed the relevant material to include the AD's letter proposing you for dismissal and many of the text messages between you and Lisa Page. I consider the Douglas factors drafted by the AD of Counterintelligence Division. Your role is one of the most senior counterintelligence agents in the FBI, and finally, I consider the long-term damage to the reputation of the FBI. While there is no doubt your 21 years of service to the organization cannot and should not be erased, it is difficult to fathom the repeated sustained errors of judgment you made while serving as the lead agent in two of the most high-profile investigations in the country. As an organization, we are entrusted to investigate high-level public officials regardless of party affiliation. If we ourselves show personal bias or demonstrate a lack of objectivity, that trust can be lost. Our ability to be objective, no matter which party candidate or officeholder is in power, must be beyond question. Candidates and officeholders will come and go, but the FBI must be steadfast in its resolve to find the truth regardless of our personal leanings or beliefs. Though the Office of the Inspector General found no evidence of bias impacted any of your or the FBI investigative actions or decisions. Your sustained pattern of bad judgment in the use of an FBI device has called into question for many of the decisions made during both the Clinton email investigation and the initial states of the Russian collusion investigation. In short, your repeated selfishness has called into question the credibility of the entire FBI. As I considered all of the known facts associated with the adjudication of your case, it was difficult to imagine another incident like yours, which brought so much discredit to the organization. In my 23 years in the FBI, I have not seen a more impactful series of missteps, which called into question the entire organization and more thoroughly damaged the reputation of this organization. In our role as FBI employees, we sometimes make unpopular decisions, but the public should be able to examine our work and not have to question our motives in your adjudication. I removed all the politics pundits' commentary in the media from reporting the decision point, which I must address when I strip away all of the noise. I am left with the facts and extremely damaging impact to the organization which will take years to overcome. As Deputy Assistant Director, you were expected to be the leader who was beyond reproach and set an example for not only our direct subordinates, but others throughout the organization who watched and observed your behaviors and actions. You failed to do so repeatedly and put your own interests above the interests of the organization. Though it pains me to do so, it is for this reason that I am dismissing you from the roles of the FBI. Sincerely, David L. Bodak, Deputy Director. So here's the question that comes to mind: if David Bostock, the Deputy Director of the FBI, is objectively stating here that for years the FBI's credibility will be damaged and that there will be legitimate concerns for years to come moving forward questioning the political bias of the FBI, if he himself is able to admit that after the whole Peter Strzok Lisa Page thing, the Crossfire Hurricane thing, Andy McCabe, James Comey, the list goes on, all of these FBI goons who worked night and day to protect Hillary Clinton and to unseat Donald Trump as president with their phony illegal FISA warrants and illegal wiretaps, and now supposedly are an extreme MAGA terrorist for questioning the FBI. Well, of course, all the previous reports on Crossfire Hurricane, all the court documents that we've seen come out of the UK, all the reporting, the testimony, the text messages, and now this were not extreme to question the FBI, you were merely paying attention. The biggest joke of all, of course, is that this is the guy that they parade across the media that tell you that the FBI is totally legitimate, not to be questioned, and that they would never raid a former president's home without legitimate evidence of a crime. While I've yet to see any legitimate evidence or justification for the raid on Donald Trump's home, how long has it been? We still have zero transparency on the matter. We still don't even know what the FBI was really looking for. The accusation or the justification on the search warrants in the affidavit was destruction or concealment of classified documents. We've yet to see a legitimate argument from the FBI, the DOJ, or frankly, anyone to suggest that the documents were classified in the first place, considering the president's unilateral authority and ability to declassify things. And so once again, we have shady operatives in the FBI and the DOJ targeting Donald Trump once again. And we're supposed to just disregard history, very recent history. Listen to Peter Strzok and the rest of these goons, the rest of these clowns, and say, you know, this time it's probably legitimate, just give them the benefit of the doubt. How about no? How about never? How about provide some actual proof, some actual evidence of wrongdoing? Otherwise, it's just a continuation of the Russia collusion Crossfire Hurricane nonsense. The witch hunt continues as even FBI Deputy Director admits the credibility of the FBI has been shattered for years to come. And the onus doesn't fall on the people to just forgive and forget. The onus falls on them to not only prove that the accused is guilty beyond reasonable doubt, but to frankly prove to the people that they aren't full of crap, because right now the people aren't buying it. Like I said earlier, rightly so, based on recent history, and what's happening at the upper echelon at the FBI, and how the whole upper operation seems to have been weaponized and politicized to stop Donald Trump at any and all cost. Ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts below. And hit subscribe right now. And I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching the video.